as a responsible entity to charge yourself VAT. Don't pay over the VAT to the small company. Go and pay VAT using a specified form and pay that over to government. And I believe I'll be able to answer subcontract, subtotal, and total invoice. You are to charge withholding tax on actual commission of a company. That's why I brought the example of the embossment and all the rest in the invoice. So if there is under invoice, you have the embossment element, you have actual commission, you have VAT, you are only to charge withholding tax on the actual commission or fee.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kende. Another question for you, sir. It seems there are two ways to calculation. I mean, most likely calculation withholding tax. Some will deduct 10% or 5% straightforward from the invoice, while some will divide the invoice value by 1.05. The difference will be withholding tax. That's the next question.
So yes, my answer is any application of withholding tax that is different from what I've explained here today, any approach is absolutely wrong. I can tell you authoritatively, any approach that is not in line, that is contrary to this application I've told you about, is absolutely wrong. Let me say you an instance again. Some people will tell you, oh, because he had charged me VAT, I must also charge withholding tax. I must tell you categorically that that notion, that impression is absolutely wrong. Charging of VAT is not interrelations to whether somebody has charged me with VAT, I must also charge withholding tax. The answer is, but in every sense, if VAT applies on an income, meaning that that amount is an income, so that will be why withholding tax can come in. So what you just need to do, whether it's 10% or 5%, what you just need to do, ask yourself certain these two questions. What is the qualification, what is the nature of that transaction, and what is the legal status of the vendor, beneficiary, customer. These are the two things that we apply, and it is strictly on the commission, fee, whatever amount that is attributable or going to that person. So if reimbursement is there, stationery is there, logistic is there and not there, and you know actually that that money is not belong to that person, you have to charge withholding tax only on the income. What you need to do again from posting, that cost to when you want to do reconciliation of withholding tax recently, it's very wrong. At times when you bring out your GL, you have enterprise, you see advertisement. Of course, that advertisement may not necessarily be income or necessarily the commission to that company entirely. Reimbursement be there. So what you need to do as a company is to know that when you are posting, you have to ensure that you are posting reimbursement elements separately. You're also posting the income separately. So by the time that you have reconciliation or withholding tax with the tax authority, you can easily bring out your ledger and show the income element and show reimbursement element, because at the time of tax audit, nobody will be interested to check your invoice to actually know which one is reimbursement, which one is not reimbursement. So you can do yourself by posting rightly. I also advise your vendor to structure their invoice in a way that will show reimbursement elements. And because some company always want to, they don't always want to show what are the elements of their profit or commission in a particular invoice. They lump everything together. And I've said it, you can't eat your cake and still have it. If you have any case like that, please apply withholding tax on the total invoice amount, except VAT. If the VAT is there, you are not supposed to charge withholding tax on VAT. I believe I've answered that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kende, for that response. There's a question here is saying that government exempts VAT on commercial aircrafts. Does Nigerian government have power when purchases is made abroad? Okay, okay, that's a good one. You see, when it comes to VAT, VAT is within the jurisdiction of Nigerian territory, and is not within jurisdiction of government abroad. So definitely, the government of Nigeria is in charge of the territorial space in Nigeria. So the Finance Act, even the Constitution, give the government some certain powers, and of course the Company Income Tax Act give the Minister of Finance some powers. It give the president some powers, especially when it comes to rate amendments and some exemptions when it comes to tax exemptions. So, because of course these exemptions are things that who is losing if there's exemption? It's Nigerian government, and they are saying that yes, I want to exempt because I've seen that this industry is very important. Then they want to exempt it from that's the airline in the aviation industry is key to the Nigerian sector economy. They want to exempt it from when it comes to purchases of commercial aircraft from VAT. So, of course, I said that VAT now is based on destination principle. We are the one, the commercial aircraft or airline is based in Nigeria, yeah, is buying the aircraft. So is the consumer. Okay, so even though at the point of payment, if at all the foreign vendor, maybe the US government, did not include VAT on the invoice, what we are saying that ordinarily the consumer, that's the buyer, should self-charge itself and pay to the government. So meaning that if the aircraft is about 1 billion, the is a valuable item, the buyer will calculate the VAT element of it, that is 7.5% on it, and pay the government. There's what they call self-charging principle. Okay, if the other country did not put VAT on the invoice. But with this provision, the government is saying, no, don't self-charge yourself. You are the consumer of this item, just buy. Don't worry about the VAT anymore. So that's what the government is saying. So the law is within Nigeria, and it affects mainly people operating within Nigeria. So Nigerian government has the power, to do that. It doesn't really affect the US government. Okay, so ordinarily, if this exemption is not there, if you are buying anything, it's expected that when they are sending their invoice, they should calculate the VAT on that transaction, apply it, and submit their invoice. So the payment should be made. When the payment is made, the VAT element should be deducted and paid to the Federal Inland Revenue Service in Nigeria. Ordinarily, if there, but now they've enjoyed the exemption, and they are not required to self-charge VAT. Okay, so that's that for that question. Now, someone is also asking a question about, he said, if an audit name reads Obinamadu and Co. should be regarded as trade name, being an audit fee, okay,